Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, March 1st. Welcome. Happy March. Can't believe it's already March, but here we are. Addison and the kids just left. I guess, well, they left about a half an hour ago. It's around 9 o'clock. So, I'm worn out. This is how I look most of the time, y'all. If I'm at home, my hair pulled away from my face and just out of my way, but anyway, you get the best of me today. I have been stitching. I hope y'all have been too. In no particular order. I worked on Ada Paula Vaughn's Quilts for All Seasons. I worked on February's. And here's where I'm at. Oh no, things are sliding. Anyway, this time I worked mostly filling in these colors. I got this part, the brown in here that's filled in done, and then I filled in a bunch of the lighter colors that are on the curtains that are showing right here behind. So that's what I was working on, actively trying to avoid the heavy confetti that's here and starts here with the quilt and everything. We are headlong into busy season, and so it's all the way around, just exhausted all the time. Sorry, I pulled that bag up behind me, so. I worked on Fancy That Rabbit on Wheels. I think this was a Mania start last year. I'm really not sure. Doing this on some kind of mystery fabric in a green. This time I put in part of the little flowers on this seed packet. There we go. And got started on the pot down here. I put in the little posts from the seed packets too, so there you go. This I'm doing 2/2 on whatever this fabric is, and that just for me is so much slower. I don't do it enough to just have the hang of it and let it go quickly. From lepointdecroix.com, I worked on this Be Mine. It's so cute. I just love it. And worked on filling in stuff here on the little boy. This is a page break here. Like there's one here, and then like this is on one page. So trying to get this page done. And it was a lot of only 3 or 4 stitches in different colors. So I got part of his hand, one of the 4 or 5 colors of red that's in that heart, and some of that stuff. Oh, and I think I filled in his eyes so he didn't look as creepy anymore. Let's see, I worked on from Mirabilia, Santa's Magic. I don't have a good picture. I bought this kit, kitted up from someone else on eBay, and they didn't have the cover photo with what they sent. I think this is a 28 count mushroom Lugana, but I think it came in when I bought it. It had the pattern and this fabric and a bunch of the flosses with it. So anyway, I worked on a little bit of this Krynic and got off and thought I had it figured out, and then was off. So I have pulled out Krynic through there 2 times, which means I've stitched that little bit of Krynic 3 times now. And so after the 3rd time, I think they're right, but I was done. So I came over here and stitched in some white on this side. it was feeling like a rough morning. I was having a rough go at it with the crying ink. Last year I did these, the monthly mini village, where I got the pattern and the fabric, and it's a linen. I don't know if it's the called for linen or anything like that, but I only had started the January one, so I started the February one. I slept through my alarm on this day, so I got up later than usual, and there you go. I got, is that, yeah, 6 hearts, 6 little hearts put in. That was all that I had time for before we headed out to the office. We had to go last week to a funeral. They had a graveside service for a friend. He started off as a client 20 plus years ago. His mom was also a client, which he became a friend along the way, and he's going to be sorely missed. I'm a little bit brokenhearted about it. Okay, I'm a lot sad. I moped around a lot about it in the last week, but it was an outside thing, and in the middle of February, I guess the end of February, it was like, I think 90 degrees outside, close to it. And Kirsten, because he was a client, Kirsten knew him too, and she went with us, and we were teasing her because she has an initial K necklace that she wears, and Kirsten and Abigail are both as probably fair a skin as you can get, almost. It's crazy. But Dax was like, why are you so red? And she's like, oh my God, because her shirt was like a V-neck and, or like a rounded whatever. But because she sunburned for the 30, 45 minutes we were out there in the sun. But because she had the K necklace on, she's all red with this little white K in the middle of her chest. She's horrified. But we did get a kick out of that. Anyway, I worked on January sweet stitching. Not a ton, just a little bit. That seems to be, I worked on most things just a little bit. I got some of the white put in here. I don't know if I had the little cold button or not. And then obviously, sorry, the sweater. There you go. It's looking pretty cute. Each little bit that gets done, it looks cuter. And I think the last thing I worked on was this, I call it the April 2nd bunny. It's out of one of those calendars, a cross stitch a day. I think each one of these takes 2 days. Are in there. Janet had sent me a box full. I think there are 5 full calendars in there, and I've only been through one of them and picked out things to work on. And even out, I took a notebook and wrote down what year. I think I have it stuck on here somewhere. Yes, this is from a 2010 calendar. But I wrote down what year and then what date they were, the things I want to work on. I've probably only pulled out 3. I think I finished one of them. And I have this one, and then there's one that's owls in a tree that I've been working on that one. But you have to pardon, I have thread back here still. Here's where I'm at. This is, as you can see, full coverage. And I started it over here before and made mistakes, so I just came over to this side of the fabric and started again. I don't know if I'll have to pull that out or not. It's quite possible. But this time I filled in this yellow in the flowers and the green up to where it ends. I think I had green to about right here before. And this is the rabbit's foot, and this is the start of the rabbit. I wanted to stitch on something besides that green. So black it is, right? Who picks black? But you can see my thread hanging down behind. Anyway, this is where we are. I haven't done this, all of this other, because I'm missing one of the pinks. There are 2 shades of pink in those flowers. And I don't have one of them. I'm sure I have it here, but it's being used with something else. And this one doesn't come up in a rotation enough to go and try to kit it completely. At some point, I'm sure I will. Anyway, I think that's all I stitched on this week. This week was not as productive on that front as the week before, but I'll take what I can get. I've been working on these Christmas ornaments for the kids. You can't even hardly see it. I'm trying to decide if I like Rudolph without the antlers or with. It's kind of hard to see them, isn't it? Do they show up better on this side? Not really. What do you think? With or without antlers? Maybe if I do that, you can see it better. So I've been working on those a little bit here and there because it doesn't take a long time, so I just take a few minutes. I tried to do these for them in 24, and I had embroidered the eyes on, and they just, I didn't like the way they looked because I was trying to hurry through it. So now I'm redoing them. I used the safety eyes instead, and this is just a little red bead for the nose. So y'all tell me what you think. Antlers or no antlers? I personally kind of like it better without the antlers. I was thinking about looking up Rudolph to see if Rudolph, because, you know, he was still a baby, if he had antlers yet or not. Seems like I remember little nubs, but I don't know for sure. It's been a long time since I actually watched it and paid attention. I set this up here so I wouldn't forget it. I do have an FFO. I took this little, my points are not good, y'all. Look at that. But I didn't measure anything ahead of time. I was just flying by the seat of my pants, which I do all too often. And I just used the black check on the back. But there you go. I decided that with this pattern in here that it needed the check and the little pops of color in the corners. I don't know if I like it, but I stuffed it, and I didn't stuff it really full because I wanted it kind of flat. So there you go. But I just did something else. I got it done instead of sitting around forever. So I'll take it. Even if I don't love it, I can always fix it later if it bothers me that much. Doubtful it will. I think that's it. Short and sweet. I know I talked about getting the farm going. I think I have 3 tomatoes that have come up from the seeds, and 2 bell peppers. No, it's not bell peppers. 2 mystery squash, because I don't know if it's pumpkins or if it's spaghetti squash, because I did not label the seeds. And what I had them in, they spilled out into the bottom of the little plastic container that I had all of the seeds in. So I haven't, it'll be a surprise. I have no idea what it's going to be. And so there you go. Eating good in the neighborhood. That's what we're doing here. I'm trying to learn how not to be a brown thumb. I used to be pretty good, and then I've gone through a long phase of killing plants, and so I'm trying to get better and get back to being good. Being okay. Yeah, for real, I think that's it. I'm hoping that, you know, of course, that I'll get more stitching done this next week, but until after April 15th, there's probably not a whole lot of chance of that. I haven't worked on Hallie's birth announcement at all this week. I didn't get as much stitching done this morning as I would have liked because we went to Cars and Coffee or Coffee and Cars, I don't know, one way or the other, to walk around and look at the classic cars. Sometimes we have Dax's car in there, but we haven't taken it in a while because he doesn't want to go get it all clean after sitting out in the shop all the time. So anyway, I'm looking around. I don't have anything else right now, I don't think. So thank you everyone for the likes. Thank you for watching and coming back. And thank you for stopping by if you're new. I appreciate your comments, your likes, and your subscriptions. I really do, more than you know. And even if I don't have a ton next week, I don't want to get out of. I'm trying to make this a habit, and I don't want to mess it up already. So, hopefully, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Which I don't know. It's supposed to rain starting in the middle of the week, but we could sure use it. But several days of rain, so I don't know. I could be speaking the truth here about the creek rising. Anyway, thanks, y'all. See you next week.